So going back to Luke 1:68, blessed be the Lord, power of Israel, for he hath visited and redeemed his people. Now I'm going to hop down to verse 71, that we should be saved from our enemies and from the hand of all those that hate us. The heathen nations, starting with Esau, but all the nations, we are, under the thumb or beneath, weaker, than all these nations, without Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai. And, these nations have the upper hand on us right now, all right? But Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai is going to save us from these nations, man, that we should be saved from our enemies and from the hand of all those that hate us, because these nations are our enemies and they do hate us, and 2/3 of the nation of Israel, have a real problem, or they can't come to grips with the fact that these nations hate us, because Jake, loves to, even back, to the ancient world, Jake loves to mingle with the heathen and, befriend the heathen and pick up the ways of the heathen. When we are people that's supposed to be set apart from all the other nations. That's why, Jake is, always trying to please the heathen. When you see how Jake interact with each other versus how they interact with heathen nations, it's a level of respect. It's a level of admiration. Jake is very polite when it comes to dealing with other nations and treat each other like shit. Because Jake, 2/3 of the nation of Israel, they don't see these heathen nations as our enemies. And they don't believe that the heathen nations hate us, even though they show you at every turn. You just a tool to make money. Esau clearly shows his hate for you and that he views you as an enemy. And the other nations just, once again, you just a tool to make money. They come in your neighborhood and set up shop, stores and, fast food places or restaurants or, whatever have you, whatever way they making money off Jake, selling you fake hair, all that shit. These are the people that, these people that you had this admiration for and this respect for, speaking of 2/3 of the nation of Israel. These are the people who they know you, they enemy, and they hate you. All right. So Jake, being unaware or refusing to accept this, they gonna get, they gonna perish with the heathen. All right. But the hopeful elect, we know that we need Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai to save us from these nations, man, that we should be saved from our enemies and from the hand of all that hate us. All right. Ezekiel 28:25. Thus saith the Lord, Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushai, when I shall have gathered the house of Israel from the people among whom they are scattered, and shall be sanctified in them in the sight of the heathen, then shall they dwell in their land that I have given to my servant Jacob. All right, Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai is going to gather, starting with the elect. It's going to gather the elect of the nation of Israel in the sight of the heathen. All right, because the heathen, they think we ain't shit. They, they think that they're going to continue to, use us and mistreat us, for eternity. All right, but Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai is going to, make it known in the sight of the heathen that he love us. And we're going to be exalted and put in a position above the heathen where we belong, for the namesake of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai. So they'll know, it's a power in Israel. All right, the true and living power is only dealing with the Israelites. says, and they shall dwell safely therein. Once we get put back in the land, and they shall dwell safely therein, and shall build houses and plant vineyards. Yeah, they shall dwell with confidence when I have executed judgments upon all those that despise them round about them, and they shall know that I am the Lord, Yahweh Hashem outside their power. All right, the heathen is gonna know. All right, that's why it says they shall dwell with confidence. It ain't gonna be no, police sirens making niggas run and shit, or nations, Esau writing decrees that affect the whole nation, or us being used despitefully by the other nations. No more. Because it's going to be known that Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua is dealing with the nation of Israel. And you nations is going to be too scared to buck. They're not going to be coming at us in the kingdom of heaven. They're going to know what it is. This judgment that Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua is bringing upon the earth is going to scare the shit out of the heathen. They ain't going to want nothing to do. They ain't going to want no conflict or nothing of that sort with the nation of Israel. They shall dwell with confidence when I have executed judgments upon all those that despise them round about them. All right, the nations, the heathen nations, they despise us. They hate you. They know you their enemy. That's why they treat you as such. But Jake is what you call, 2/3 of the nation. Israel is what you call a glutton for punishment, man. They love being mistreated by the nations, man. All these proverbs and bywords, man, that we are called by these nations. Jake embrace the shit and become what you call a caricature. I'm probably saying it wrong. A caricature of it, man. All that shit that the heathen nations, chiefly Esau, all the shit that they say about us. Jake love that shit. Jake love being a nigga. Jake love, like, for example, I don't know dude name, but it's this ridiculous dude who, like, he'll be eating food and, man, I can't even describe the level of coonery, man. Eating a watermelon, eating a chicken, eating some nigga shit, or what's perceived to be that. Because what nation don't eat watermelon and chicken, but what I'm talking about, like the coonery aspect of it. Jake love that shit. Niggas love being depicted as pimps and thugs and whores, and they embrace it. Only an enemy would do that to you. Only an enemy would depict you in that way. But not in the eyes of Jake. That's love to them. They look at it as if they being exalted, as they're being made a mockery of, man. Once again, only an enemy would do that to you. Only an enemy want to break up your household, which it's a curse as well. But only the enemy want to see that. Niggas love saying, I grew up without a father. That's not how shit supposed to be, nigga. Your mother's not, I ain't even going, I'm not trying to be disrespectful. But your mother not supposed to be the head of the household. She not supposed to be all out in the street being a nigga woman. Your sisters and your aunties, they not supposed to be whores, man. Our sons not supposed to be sodomites. But Jake been beaten into submission. So, they feel as though these things are what makes them welcoming to the other nations, when in fact it's just making mockery of you, man. And once again, only an enemy would do that to you. All right. But Isaiah 14:1, for the Lord will have mercy on Jacob and will yet choose Israel. and set them in their own land. And the stranger shall be joined with them, and they shall cleave to the house of Jacob. All right, the Most High choosing Israel. All right, getting us out of the hands of our enemies and those who hate us. It's going to be known that Yahweh Bashim Yahushua is dealing with the Israelites. And the people shall take them and bring them to their place, and the house of Israel shall possess them in the land of the Lord for servants and handmaids. All right, so the same thing they done to us, or us being subservient to them. Them being the head, us being the tail, them being at the top, us being at the bottom. It's gonna happen to them. You ain't gonna serve us, because that's only what you was made to do anyway. And all the proud looks, all the bywords and everything like that is gonna vanish. You're gonna be too scared to look at an Israelite crazy. You're gonna be too scared to get out of line. The house of Israel shall possess them in the land of the Lord for servants and handmaids, and they shall take them captives, whose captives they were, and they shall rule over their oppressors. All right, who's been held captive, who's been taken captive. The whole world know about the transatlantic slave trade. Everybody know that. You Israelites, all right, you Negroes, Latinos, what you call a Native American, we nothing more than prisoners of war here, man. That's how you got here. You was taken captive. And the scriptures say, we gonna take them captive whose captives we were. So you know what time it is. You know what that means. All right, y'all gonna be in a subservient position. When Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai save us out of the hands of our enemies and those who hate us. All right. Ezekiel 34:25, and I will make with them a covenant of peace, and will cause the evil beasts to cease out of the land, and they shall dwell safely in the wilderness and sleep in the woods. And you can liken Esau, to an evil beast, man. He's taking away all the damn peace, man, on the world, in the land. You got, Jake, in the street, but all that behavior is learned from Esau. You are what your leader is. So when you look at because that's what they try to hit you with. Niggas in the street shooting each other and killing each other. Well, I mean, Esau just does it on a bigger level. When you look at the term imperialism, all right, Esau running around taking over people's land to make money. That's the same thing niggas do in the street to make money. Or y'all can't hustle over here, or we gonna go take this over there. That's just imperialism on a smaller level. Drug dealing, come on, man. The pharmaceutical industry is the real drug dealers. All right, pimping. Yeah, Jake, which is wicked. You ain't Israelite. You ain't supposed to sell your daughter or no Israelite woman like that. But the pornographic industry is just pimps and hoes. So this learned behavior, all right, the king of this behavior is Esau, and it's a learned behavior, that Jake run with, because Jake want to do everything the heathen do. When the niggas in the street got a problem with each other and they go to war, that's what America do on a international level. We want y'all to do this, and if y'all don't do it, we about to start dropping bombs. That's some gangster shit for your ass. That's real some gangster shit. Not you niggas in the street playing with these little guns, man. All right. But the scriptures say, and I will make with them a covenant of peace, and will cause the evil beasts to cease out of the land, and they shall dwell safely in the wilderness and sleep in the woods, and I will make them and the places round about my hill a blessing. And I will cause the shower to come down in his season. There shall be showers of blessings. And the tree of the field shall yield her fruit, and the earth shall yield her increase, and they shall be safe in their land, and shall know that I am the Lord, Yahweh Bashem Yahushai, when I have broken the bands of their yoke, and delivered them out of the hands of those that serve themselves of them. All right, yeah, serving yourself of somebody is using them. And that's all these nations, chiefly Esau, but these nations do is use the Israelites. Even going back to the crime aspect of it. A lot of that shit, man, Esau don't care about, but them privately owned prisons, them niggas got to make that money. The owners of the prison got to make the money. You even have these entertainers who have stock in prisons. These Israelite entertainers, they have stock in it. So prison is just a business. It's not you don't get reform going to jail. It's just a business. It's just commissary. Like myself, this was years ago. I had a job where what we would do is fill the orders for niggas commissary. So Salaki. We would fill the orders for people commissary. So all kind of, all the shit niggas buy. Noodles and candies and shit, and honey buns, mackerels and shit, That's a whole business that had and it was a fairly I guess you would say a good paying job at the time. So a whole business, a whole big ass building is standing just off niggas commissary alone. That's using somebody. Everybody know the owners of companies. You pay the employees scraps. You making millions and millions. You pay them enough to survive. That's using somebody. How they use when you look at Issachar. Issachar put in work. Issacharites work. But Issachar go stand in front of the damn Home Depot. Esau roll up on him. You and you. It'd be 20 fucking Issacharites out there. What you know is a Mexican. And he'd pick 3 of them. You and you. Come on. And work their ass all day and give them some crumbs. The Most High is going to deliver us from that. And deliver them out of the hands of those that serve themselves of them. Most High going to deliver us out of that shit. It's not just a Negro, so-called Negro thing, man. It's all the tribes need saving. Verse 28, and they shall no more be a prey to the heathen, neither shall the beasts of the land devour them, but they shall dwell safely, and none shall make them afraid. All right. There you go right there. It should no more be a prey to the heathen. We would no longer get devoured, and ain't nobody gonna make us afraid because they gonna be afraid. Like the scripture say, we're gonna dwell in our land with confidence. Ain't nobody gonna knock us off. Once Yahweh Hashem Yahushua bless us with the new heart, the fleshly heart, take away the stony heart, it's just gonna be perpetual blessings because you ain't gonna be no reason for Yahweh Hashem Yahushua to punish us no more. So what are you gonna do? Speaking to the nations, what actual chance do you have? If y'all was the buck in the fight, it'd just be funny. You gonna get crippled, man. And I will raise up for them a plant of renown, and they shall be no more consumed with the hunger of the land, neither bear the shame of the heathen any more. Thus shall they know that I, the Lord, Yahweh Bashem Yahushai, their power, am with them, and that they, even the house of Israel, are my people, saith the Lord, Yahweh Bashem Yahushai, is going to be known. Once the Most High save us from our enemies and those that hate us, you going to know, damn, we shouldn't have crossed them the Israelites. Y'all going to have the utmost respect for the nation of Israel. You know, all these niggas and spics, as you know them. You know, you got all kind of shit, man. You know, they be saying about us, all these bywords. You ain't gonna have the balls to say nothing. You know, nothing derogatory or disrespectful. When the Most High save us out of your hands, man. It's Isaiah 44:24. Thus saith the Lord, thy Redeemer, and he that formed thee from the womb. I am the Lord, Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua, that make all things, that searcheth forth, that stretcheth forth the heavens alone, that spreadeth abroad the earth by myself, that frustrateth the tokens of liars, and maketh diviners mad, that turneth wise men backward, and maketh their knowledge foolish. And you seeing that happening to the heathen, chief of Esau, to the heathen nations now, man. That frustrateth the tokens of liars. This truth will get under their skin, man. It may be a media block, or, those who do it it's going to sound crazy, but you preach the truth the worldly way. Those camps, they might be, getting off a little bit, but the Most High going to destroy them too. All right, the real truth, all right, that was given to us, from Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua, using the apostles and elders of Great Millstone on down. All right, it's frustrating the tokens of liars, tokens being proof, or what was perceived to be as proof. It's nothing you can put in front of us now that can't be broken down through the scriptures. And that's frustrating for any liar. If you ever know a liar, which I'm pretty sure everybody met a liar in their life, that shit frustrate the hell out of them when you keep questioning them and keep coming with proof that they lying. You see they level of uncomfort, man. Everybody know a lying ass nigga. You ain't even gotta come at them direct. They say a lie. You might sub them, say something subliminal to them. They get all uncomfortable and shit. Cause that facade is being destroyed, and that's frustrating for them. Like for example, the stronghold of that Caesar Borgia picture that y'all know is Jesus Christ. That's a big joke now. That was a real stronghold at one point. I mean, it probably still is to 2/3 of the nation of Israel. But for the majority of the world, of course, those who know the truth, but even a Joe six-pack nigga, a modern regular guy, they know that. For example, and this is the spirit of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua doing this, that frustrated the tokens of liars and maketh their diviners mad. All right, that turn of wise men backwards, so-called wise men of the world, wisdom of this world, foolishness with the Most High anyway. Oh, there you go, and maketh their knowledge foolish. That shit just dumb. Like the Big Bang Theory. I remember they taught me that in school. Big Bang Theory. It was just a big ass explosion and everything fell in place. They gotta be some of the dumbest shit ever, man. Or if you ever seen the evolution picture, a man started as a fish, and he turned into a bigger fish, and then he grew legs and a head and became a human or some shit like that, man. Yeah, it's a bunch of dumb shit, man. It's foolish, But that frustrated the tokens of the liars and maketh diviners mad, that turneth wise men backwards, and turneth wise men backward, and maketh their knowledge foolish, that confirmeth the word of his servant, and performeth the counsel of his messengers. And that's what's gonna really fuck these people up when everything that we say in the spirit of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua comes to fruition, as they say. That's gonna fuck them up. The Most High is gonna confirm, because it's his words. You think the Most High about to let y'all shit on his name and he's going to look like a liar? No, he's going to confirm the word of his servants and perform the counsel of his messengers that saith to Jerusalem, thou shalt be inhabited, And to the cities of Judah ye shall be built, and I will raise up the decayed places thereof. The Most High is going to exhort us, not because of nothing we done, but because, for his name's sake. It's going to happen. It's just a matter of having patience, because myself, as well as, anybody that believes in this truth, you hate seeing these nations in an exalted position, and knowing this is the truth, having people shun it off, that's at least, for myself, I speak for myself, I hate that feeling. Oh, that's just some bullshit you talking about. Oh, yeah, I heard that. Them old niggas. Them old bottles. Yeah, I've been saying that shit since. Yeah, all right. The Most High gonna confirm the word of his servants and perform the counsel of his messengers that saith to Jerusalem, all right, the nation, thou shalt be inhabited, and to the cities of Judah ye shall be built, and I will raise up the decayed places thereof. All right. Psalms 44:5. Through thee will we push down our enemies. Through thy name will we tread them under that rise up against us. Through the name of Yahweh Shema Shah. So our enemies gonna get tread down, knocked out of position. It says, for I will not trust in my bow, neither shall my sword save me. But thou hast saved us from our enemies and hast put them to shame that hated us. And this is what's gonna happen in the future, man. Scripture say none of the Most High words come back to him void. So the men that was put, the spirit that was put on these men to write these things, and the spirit of Yahweh Shem Shai is gonna happen. All right. It says, yeah, but thou hast saved us from our enemies and hast put them to shame that hated us. In Yahweh we boast all the day long and praise thy name forever. Salah. All right. We gonna be boasting in the spirit in the kingdom of heaven. Scripture say if you boast in anything, boast in the fact, I'm paraphrasing, boast in the fact that Yahweh Shem Shai, the name. That's our power. We're going to be boasting, man. As I said in a previous video, mocking these nations. And where your God at? I thought you prayed to such and such. Oh, he going to come save y'all? Who's going to save you from the Israelites? Who's going to save you from Yahweh Shem Shai? Where your God's at? I believe it was Elijah that was doing that. Pardon me if I'm wrong about that. I believe it was Elijah, though, against some Hamite nation, them Hamites. Maybe your God took a long trip. Maybe he went to the bathroom. He on vacation. Something to that effect. We're going to be boasting in the spirit of Yahweh Shem Shai that day. In Yahweh we boast all the day long and praise thy name forever. Salah. But thou hast cast off and put us to shame, and goest not forth with our armies. Thou makest us to turn back from the enemy, and they which hate us spoil for themselves. This is what's going on right now. All right, because Yahweh Shem Shai, the Israelites went off. All right, so the Lord stopped dealing with us. He didn't cast us off forever, but he gave us into the hands of our enemies. All right. It says, thou hast given us like sheep appointed for meat and hast scattered us among the heathen. This is why you heathens is getting off. It's not of your doing. You're not smart. You're not mighty for real. Esau was given the sword. All right, but you ain't shit. This happened to us because of our disobedience to Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai. That's why it says, thou hast given us like sheep appointed for meat, and hast scattered us among the heathen. Thou sellest thy people for naught, and dost not increase thy wealth by their price. Thou makest us a reproach to our neighbors, a scorn and a derision to them that are around about us. Yeah, they hate us, man. Going back to the initial scripture where it say, being saved from our enemies and those that hate us. They hate you. And that's why Jake don't think they need to be saved out of here, because they can't come to grips with the fact that Esau hate them. Chiefly Esau. That's who they kiss his ass the most. Even the other nations, man. The Most High, mock us with these nations, man. Look at the damn Moabite. He's above you in the world. A Moabite. Elamite. Damn, what you call it? East Indian, man. He's above you. That's mockery. But this is what we chose. But Yahweh Shem Shah is gonna have mercy upon the Israelites, starting with the elect. Put you heathens to shame. Thou makest a reproach to our neighbors, a scorn and a derision to them that round about us. Thou makest us a byword among the heathen, a shaking of the head among the people. You know what that means? Like when they shake their head, like tisk, looking at you like, man, look at these niggas, man. Niggas ain't shit. Second Ezra 10:6. Thou foolish woman above all over. No. Thou foolish woman above all other, seest thou not our mourning, and what happeneth unto us? How that Zion, our mother, is full of all heaviness and much humble, mourning very sore. Right? Because the land is mourning that we not in it. And now, seeing we all mourn and are sad. And this is Salakia. When Ezra seen the vision of the woman, and she was talking about losing her son. All right. This is being likened to, our mother, the land, all right, losing us. It's, of course, you read the whole chapter. It's a good read. But I'm going to start back at the top. Second Ezra 10:6, thou foolish woman above all other, seest thou not our mourning, and what happeneth unto us? How that Zion, our mother, is full of all heaviness, and much humble, mourning very sore. And now, seeing we all mourn and are sad, for we are all in heaviness, or thou grieve for one son? For ask the earth, and she shall tell thee that it is she which ought to mourn for the fall of so many that grow upon her. For out of her came all at the first, and out of her shall all others come. And behold, they walk almost all into destruction, and a multitude of them is utterly rooted out. Who then should make more mourning than she, that have lost so great a multitude, and not thou, which are sorry but for one? Because all the Israelites is going through it, man. Getting destroyed, put to death unjustly by Esau, and you other nations, you got blood on your hands too. But if it's verse 12, but if thou sayest unto me, my lamentation is not like the earth's, because I have lost the fruit of my womb, which I brought forth with pains and bare with sorrows, but the earth not so. For the multitude present in it, according to the course of the earth, is gone as it came. Then say I unto thee, like as thou hast brought forth with labor, even so the earth also have given her fruit, namely man, ever since the beginning unto him that made her. Now therefore keep thy sorrow to thyself, and bear with a good courage that which hath befallen thee. Ezra's basically telling the woman, what are you crying for? You lost one son. And look at what Ezra's going to get into. Look at what's happening to Israel. For if thou shalt acknowledge the determination of the Most High to be just, thou shalt both receive thy son in time, and shalt be commended among women. Do not so, but be counseled by me. For how many are the adversaries of Zion? Be comforted in regard of the sorrow of Jerusalem. And this is talking about the whole nation. Jerusalem being a people before a place. How many are the adversaries of Zion? We cornered, we boxed in. As far as our enemies on this world. Damn heathens, they, like I say, we boxed in, man. But as the scriptures say, Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua, he gonna save us from the hands of those that hate us. And he gonna save us from our enemies, our adversaries. All right, it says, for thou seest that our sanctuary is laid waste, or altar broken down, or temple destroyed, all right, or psaltery is laid on the ground, or song is put to silence. God damn it. Or psaltery is laid on the ground, or a song is put to silence, or rejoicing is at an end. The light of our candlestick is put out, the ark of the covenant is spoiled, or holy things are defiled, and the name that is called upon us is almost profane. Our children are put to shame, our priests are burnt, our Levites are going into captivity, our virgins are defiled, and our wives and our wives ravished. It's not funny, it's just, this is everything that we going through though. Our righteous men carried away, our little ones destroyed, our young men are brought into bondage, and our strong men are become weak. All right, this is the state of the nation of Israel right now. So how do you not need to be saved? From our enemies. What can we do? It's nothing that we can. What I'm trying to say. Nothing that we can come up with. No plan of action to get up out of this state. Yahweh Ba'ashem, to get up out of this state of being that we in. Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua has to come save us, man. It says, this verse 23, and which is the greatest of all, the seal of Zion have now lost her honor, for she is delivered into the hands of them that hate us. Look at what they over there doing in the land. In Tel Aviv and all like that. Goddamn heathens running around our land acting like it's theirs, defiling it. That's why that place is gonna get smoked too. It's gonna get purified. Say that. It's gonna get burnt and purified as well, man. Them heathens over there doing all kind of unspeakable acts in the Holy Land, man. And therefore shake off thy great heaviness and put away the multitude of sorrows, that the mighty may be merciful unto thee again, and the highest shall give thee rest and ease from thy labor. All right. But the whole nation is going through this. So, of course, we need to be saved by Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua. Excuse me. Psalms 38 and 18, for I will declare mine iniquity. I will be sorry for my sin, but my enemies are lively, and they are strong, and they that hate me wrongfully are multiplied. They also that render evil for good are my adversaries, because I follow the thing that good is. All right. Our enemies are multiplied against us, man. Everybody hate the nation of Israel. Forsake me not, O Lord, O my power, be not far from me. Make haste to help me, O Lord, my salvation. This is what we're waiting on for Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua to, subdue our enemies, which is all the nations. It's not just, of course, Esau being the chief demon on the world, but it's all the nations. All y'all guilty. Psalm 69:13. But as for me, my prayer is unto thee, O Lord, Yahweh Shem Yahushai, in an acceptable time. O Yahweh, in the multitude of thy mercy, hear me, in the truth of thy salvation. Deliver me out of the mire, and let me not sink. Let me be delivered from them that hate me, and out of the deep waters. There you go again, proving the nations hate us. All right, and it be amongst our own people too, because 2/3 is nothing more than heathens right now. They're not even a part of the nation. They Edomites or whatever custom, whatever heathen that they're following. That's what they are. So if you are an Israelite and you follow the customs of Moabites, you a Moabite. You know, let not the water flood overflow me, neither let the deep swallow me up, and let not the pit shut her mouth upon me. O turn unto me, and have mercy upon me. Give thy strength unto thy servant, and save the son of thy handmaid. Show me a token for good, that they which hate me may see it, and be ashamed, because thou, Lord, hast hope in me and comforted me. All right. Let they that they which hate me may see it. You know, this Yahweh Shem Yahushua, you know, talks about doing this, delivering Israel in front of the nations, and they gonna know. And that hate and that arrogance, you know, and that, you know, proud look, that's good shit gonna turn into fear once the Most High do that. Once he save us, you know, from the heathen, man. All right. Psalms 120:6. My soul hath long dwelt with him that hateth peace. I am for peace, but when I speak, they're for war. That's all they want, is war with the Israelites, and to keep doing, you know, little underhanded shit to keep us down. And the Most High is giving them the power to do so once again, because the Israelites, you know, went against Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai, you know, our power. All right. My soul have long dwelt with him that hateth peace. You know, Esau, you know, I'm speaking chiefly on Esau now. You know, it's never peace with this dude. It's all, well, he's been in perpetual war since forever, especially with the Israelites. It's just Jake think war is two nations with army, which it is to an extent, but two nations got an army and they drop bombs. War can be covert, man. War can be paperwork. Things being written in the legislation. All right, trickery, that's war. And this is some of the things, you know, covertness is war. That's you know, how Esau attacks now. It's not like in the 50s where you walk down the street and Esau just body slam your ass, you know, like the 20s and 30s back then. You know, where he just had full charge to just, you know, just kick your ass, man. It's not like that no more. It's covertness. It's trickery, like it's media. How he, one example, how he, because all this shit in the media, which media is a big weapon that Esau uses, that shit get projected to the whole world, man. So when you see something like Medea, a motherfucker, somebody that live on the eastern part of the world, they think that's how old black people act, man. So-called black people. That's war, nigga. Depicting you in that manner, that's war. Jake is the thug, the pimp. As I said earlier in this video, the thug, the pimp, horse, you know, everything that's just terrible about a person, man, is how our image is being projected to the world. That's war. You know, my soul have long dwelt with him that hateth peace. I am for peace, but when I speak, they're for war. And Jake be trying to be peaceful, even the 2/3, trying to be all peaceful. You know, the scriptures say, you live peaceably with men if you can. But I'm talking about that overkill shit, that ass kissing, and Esau still beat on you, stupid. But it wasn't given unto you, to know who this man is and to know his latter end, as well as the heathens, all the heathen nations. Your latter end is to serve the Israelites. Esau's latter end is to be destroyed, off the world. But, all you nations is going to get put in subjection, man. Psalms 139:19. Surely thou wilt slay the wicked. O Yahweh, depart from me, therefore, ye bloody men, for they speak against thee wickedly, and thine enemies take thy name in vain. Do not I hate them, O Lord, that hate thee? And am not I grieved with those that rise up against thee? Yeah, because when you rise up against the Israelites, you rising up against Yahweh Hashem Yahushua. If somebody, you have children in this flesh, somebody coming at your, let's say somebody kick your son ass, man, you gonna have a problem with that. You know what I'm saying? Even if it's another adult, it's out of the question. You already know what time it is. But even if it's a little kid that's beating up on your son, you might call, your little cousin, like, hey, man, come fuck this little dude up, man. He messing with my son, man. So the same thing with Yahweh Hashem Yahushua and the Israelites. All this shit that y'all doing to the Israelites, the children of Israel, all right, the children of Yahweh Hashem Yahushua. Of course, you got a real problem with it. If you hate us, you hate him. And the scriptures say, all that hate me love death. So, you know what it is, man. Do not I hate them, O Lord, that hate thee, and am not I grieved with those that rise up against thee? I hate them with a perfect hatred. I count them my enemies. All right, which is, someone who's in King David in this sense. But that's the spirit we all in. We hate y'all too. 2/3 of the nation of Israel don't. But all that being friendly with the nations and you conduct yourself wisely. I'm not saying go out here and choke a Moabite right now. All right, but just know that that's your enemy, man. The nations is your enemies, period. They hate you. And they show you at every turn. All right, but Yahweh Hashem Shah, he hates y'all too. It's only a matter of time before the Lord execute the judgment on the heathen. All right, so back to Luke 1 and 71, that we should be saved from our enemies and from the hand of all those, and from the hand of all that hate us, all right, the heathen nations. All right, they hate you.